Good morning, friends. Welcome to SBI Securities Daily Morning Podcast. Let's quickly look at what happened in the Indian market in yesterday's trade. So, strong global cues led to a rally across the global market, and therefore, we also saw Indian market registering more than 1% gain in the frontline indices, while Nifty registered 232-point gain to close at 19,675. Sensex registered 742-point gains to close at 65,675 points. If you look at the broader market, Nifty Midcap 100 went up by 0.96%, while Nifty Small Cap Index registered 1.32% gain in yesterday's trade. If you look at the sectoral indices, across all the sectoral indices led by IT, reality, metal, auto, energy, ended in the green between 1.5% to 2.25%. If you look at the fund flow side, FII, DIIs both were net buyer in the cash market yesterday's. While the FII net bought 552 crore rupees in the cash market, DII net bought 609 crore rupees in the cash market yesterday. The market breadth remained very strong. There were 2,215 stock in the advances category, while there were 1,538 stock in the declining category. If you look at the stock making 52-week high and lows, there were 363 stock made new 52-week high, and the list are like Alchem Lab, Angel One, Arvind Fashion, Ashiana Housing, Bajaj Auto, Birla Soft, Canara Bank, Coal India Limited, DLF, GNFC, Indian Bank, IPCA Lab, Jyoti Laboratories, MCX. So these are some of the stock which made 52-week high in the yesterday's trade, and there were 26 stock which made 52-week lows. Now let's look at the key global parameter that the market closely tracked. If you look at the US bond yield, after dropping 17 basis point in the yesterday after the US declared its October CPI data, the US 10-year bond yield went up marginally by 5 basis point to 4.5%, while the Brent crude at $81.1 remained very steady. And if you look at the dollar index, this is largely remained stable at 104.4, while the India and the US volatility index VIX remain also steady. If you look at the US bond US VIX, it's at 14.2, while the India VIX is at 11.14. Now let's look at what happened in the US market overnight. So this is the second day in a row we saw US market ending higher, while the Dow Jones index 0.5% higher, Nasdaq and S&P ended 0.13% and 0.2% respectively. Russell 2000 small cap index registered 0.16% gain in yesterday's trade. The positive traction in the US market is also driven by the fact that the October producer price index also dropped to 0.5%. This is the biggest drop in a month since April 2020. So this data suggests that the inflation is now cooling off in the US market, and US Fed could see a soft landing going ahead. So all these things are really creating some kind of positive impact in the global market, including US. And if you look at the European market, they also ended largely in the green between 0.3% to 0.9%, while the Asian markets are trading largely in a flat to positive zone. If you compare the GIFT Nifty with the Nifty Future Index, then we could see a 40 points positive opening for our market today, looking at the positive global cues. Now let's look at various stocks which are there in the focus. So first is Bajaj Finance Limited, where the RBI has barred the company from lending under its two product e-com and Insta EMI card. And this action basically is taken after the RBI found it with the non-compliance of certain digital lending guidelines. So this is slightly negative for Bajaj Finance. We could see a negative reaction for the company to today's trade. TCS, its buyback of 17,000 crore rupees, record date is announced, and November 25 is the record date for that particular buyback, and the buyback price is 4,150 rupees per share. This is neutral to positive for TCS. Saturn Credit Care has said the company is going to meet on 20th November to consider the fundraising going forward. So slightly positive in the short to medium term for Satin Credit Care. Then Paytm, the 197 Communication, the company has announced a partnership with the global travel technology company Amadeus for next 3 years, and here the company is going to provide its platform to enhance the traveler experience from search to booking and payment, etc. So positive for Paytm in short to medium term. VST Tillers and Tractor has said the company has launched three new tractors, including its indigenously developed electric tractor. So it's a positive for VST Tillers and Tractor. There is one company called Bondada Engineering. The company has received an work order of 34 crore rupees from BSNL. So positive for that company. Now let's look at some of the company where we saw insider trade. So first is Sasken Technology, where the promoter Aarti Modi has bought 8,952 shares from the open market on November 12. In Som Distillery and Brewery, the promoter Jagdish Kumar Arora has bought 11,000 shares in the cash market on November 13. Then for Usha Martin, the promoter have sold a small quantity of 3,000 shares in the open market on November 12 and 13. So watch out for these companies. In the bulk deal, we saw ASK Automotive, the company got listed in yesterday's trade, and the Goldman Sachs India has bought 23 lakh shares of that company at 310 rupees per share. So watch out for these companies which are there in the focus. Just to summarize, global cues looks positive, neutral to positive for our market, and therefore we could see slightly in a green shade opening for our market. So thanks for listening to our daily morning podcast. I wish you all the best for today's trade. Thank you.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.